Hello the internets and welcome back to another NIKKE video. Today I want to be talking a little bit about one of the new packs in the shop. So if you're free to play, this might not be as good as of a video, I'm sorry boys, but there is a new nice pack. Actually there is two new packs that are pretty good. The first one is this login package, which gives you, on the first day a couple singles, couple boxes, on the fourth day more singles, more boxes, and on the seventh day 5 singles and even more boxes. Pretty nice overall. Okay, most of the time you will be picking up either core dust or some credits depending on how much you have currently for your gear and levels, right? But for the most people it's gonna be credits. Really good. This is like $2 or $3, I believe. 3 or 4, I don't remember. $3 or $4. And there is one more right here, which is an SSR package or pickup recruitment package, whatever it is, that will give you 3 multis, 2 standard multis and 1 rate up multi, 1 LGBTQ multi, and also you will be getting this SSR recruit package NIKKE selection box that includes a bunch of nice characters. And so that is what we will be talking about today. What are the best characters to be going for in this selector? Obviously 2 things in here, okay guys? The first, if you want to be going for a treasure, that always works and that is always a nice option. Treasures are always good. Second, most likely the most important thing here is Pokédex completion for most players, I will say. A lot of people might not care enough about meta and instead just want to complete their Pokédex. If that is the case, absolutely go and grab whatever character you like the most because you don't have them, okay? I think at this point in NIKKE specifically where we are, it's completely fine to be doing those things unless we're talking about pilgrims and limited banners where it changes a little bit because those are usually the strongest girls. But if you want your Pokédex complete, understandable, go do that. That said, let's talk about what are the best characters to be picking on this new pay-to-win selector. There are a few units in here. We're going to be going for fillers, raids, treasures, and in my opinion, the best picks in here. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure who I want to put on best picks yet. I'm between like 2 or 3 characters in here, but we'll see. Let's go left to right, whatever the order is in here, and we can start talking about volume. Volume is a character that sadly, even for raids, it's losing more and more and more and more usage. And the same thing applies for the Killer Wife, by the way. If we're talking about these T3 units, there are a lot of them that are nice in raids, but we barely see them anymore. And Volume sadly has that issue unless it's a wind weak raid. We have a lot of cooldown reduction units, and Volume was never a good one just because her percentages are not there. It's a character that easily can get a really good treasure if they buff the numbers and give us a better CDR. Like absolutely can be such a good treasure if they do it, because skill 1 has always been useless. Same for her burst itself, even though yeah, crit is fine, but it's 5 seconds. This is the usual shift up gear 1 kit, all right? Characters that could be a lot better if they were adjusted, but they never really get that buff. At the moment, I'm gonna put her more in fillers than raids, because even on raids, we barely see her unless it's wind weak. And I think there's a big difference in there. Yes, you can run her, but outside of literally bringing a wind character for QTEs, she has no other usage currently. So that's the first one. The second one we're gonna be talking about is Must, and Must is still one of the best picks you can get. Even with the treasure for Flora, Must is still one of the best B2s in the game. Yes, she's 40 seconds, you need someone else. Yes, you need to manually play her because you need to be bursting every 3rd rotation with her to maximize your drunken stacks to get attack here, because you will be getting an incredible amount of buffs based on the amount of drunken stacks that she does have. So she's still one of the best B2s in the game to be getting, honestly, so it's a safe pick. I would not be going for dupes on Must specifically because a copy is more than enough. Obviously, if you're a tryhard, you want as many dupes as possible, and Must is still one of the most popular picks in campaign for most people pushing under big combat power deficits. Now we go into Sugar, and we still haven't seen how good she will be, but we do know she is now a raid character thanks to her treasure. Actually, yeah, treasure. If you don't have her treasure, I would recommend 100% getting it. It's a fantastic treasure to be grabbing, honestly. It's mostly a raid character, so we could put her in there, no problem. But it's a treasure you can safely invest We got really lucky with the last batch of treasures, right? Sugar is good, Flora is good, the Senti one with the upgrade is fantastic as well. Like every treasure we got on the previous batch, maybe if you want to be saying Rosanna, right? Like is the one that got shafted a bit more. But everyone in there is a good option to be going for. If you want to dupe for Sugar, you can, no problem, go and grab that. In fact, let's remove this tier of treasures. It's going to be a little bit easier to understand with best picks, raids, fillers. Because as much as I would love to put Moran on the treasure category, she is one of the best picks at the moment. Only with her treasure. But for people who do not have any star, who just started playing, this is the second best B1 in the game when you can get her treasure to phase 3. Okay, this is one of the best characters in the game currently for B1s, because the amount of damage reduction she provides, plus the buffs and the cooldown reduction, makes her a staple character on a lot of content currently. So a nice option to be going for if you already have Must and you are missing a copy to start working on Moran's treasure. It is a safe pick. Then we go into Breedy, and I'm gonna be honest, Breedy almost goes into the filler category, but she is a raid character. Anytime there is a raid or content that's weak to water, you can run Breedy, no problem. We have a new cube now for her for the distribute damage. If I remember correctly and I'm not tripping, she should be distribute. There are newer buffers we can run with her as well. So it is a great DPS, but you have to play her manually and you have to have a specific buffers in the team for her to actually benefit from your kit. Now we go into Diggler Wife, and I'm gonna be honest, she's at the moment, like currently, in the meta we have, is the same situation as Volume. Diggler Wife, when she came out, was one of the best cooldown reduction characters we did have. Like, actually, she was one of the best cooldown reductions we had. But as time went by, we've gotten more units and more cooldown reduction girls and more big ones that even without cooldown reduction, like Miranda, like Dove, can be used, right? So she's been losing a lot of usage. Outside of fire weak raids, it's harder to see her. Now, she can still be a raid character. It's a nice unit. You can run her. It's at least a better cooldown reduction than Volume for sure. But at the moment, it's almost a filler. But again, she's a good character. At least, you know, she could get a lot more usage than some of the other girls here. And even for Tower. So we could actually change this to be like raids. And also, we can put here Tower. I'm writing with one hand only. Sorry for being slow. I'm an old man. I'm on my Ankh era. So we can put it in there just for Tower. Even though Elysion does have a few characters you could be running here for your Tower. If we're talking about big ones, and we're talking about Elysion specifically. Outside of your Rapid Red Hood, most people will be running Diggler Wife or even Soline as the off-burst CDR. So even on Tower, we're seeing more Soline than Diggler Wife to have faster rotations, but obviously depends on your team compositions. So she can be on both, and it's completely fine. I'm gonna put her for now on fillers. If we need to move her up later, we will do so. Quincy, we go into the same situation as Breedy, literally the same situation. Specific bosses that you will be running her just for the damage type she's providing, and because there is not a lot of options for water weak. But outside of that, and for her distribute damage, she's not that popular of a pick at the moment, but that ass deserves to actually get a copy for your Pokédex, okay? For sure. Arcana, it's on the same situation. Only grab Arcana. Only get Arcana if you do have Isabel and you are planning on building her. Arcana without Isabel is useless. Isabel without Arcana is useless. But both of them together are usually on the team 1 for raids or for content weak to electric, okay? Really good unit. This skin, my god, it looks fine. God bless Isabel. A little bit crisp at the moment, Isabel, you know, and a little bit crispy, but doesn't matter. We still love our burn, our charcoal waifu. That's it. 100% for raids on Tower is worth it if you can, well, only for raid, not for Tower. If you are building Isabel. If you don't have Isabel, then Arcana is useless and it's not worth grabbing. Then we go into Ain, same situation as Breedy, same situation as Quincy. It is a DPS that it's worth grabbing for electric quick content. It's a DPS that even at the moment, if we're talking about electric B3s, does find a usage, because for pure DPSs, there are not that many options you have for raids. Still a nice character to be running, even for Tower, it's a good pick. So it's a nice character, depending on what your account is lacking, to be getting a copy. When are we getting a gacha skin for Ain? Please, Kim, I'm begging you. Kim, what is my Ain gacha skin? Now we go into Blank, and I know this is going to be a little bit controversial placement, but it is a filler character currently. Sorry guys if you can hear the cars and whatnot. I need the window open because there is no AC here, and you know I need the windows open for some air. It is a lot better on the island here, weather-wise, than on Madrid, but still, I need it. So, Blanc, I know it's gonna be a controversial placement, but at the moment, it's a filler character. Even for raids, she's losing more and more usage. I love my Blanc, like one of my favorite characters looks-wise, but yeah, at the moment, not so much. Also, important, but if you don't have Rogue or if you don't have Nord, it's a useless pick. You should never be picking her if you don't have those characters either, right? So, that's important to mention as well. Then we go into Miranda, which can be used for both tower and for raids, has been a staple for a long ass time. So Miranda, it's for crit teams only for her treasure. If you don't have her treasure, it's not worth grabbing her. If you can work on her treasure for crit teams and one-shot teams, has been a really good pick. So for your Snow White, your Snow White Heavy Arm, for teams involving Ada Wong, for teams involving your Mihara Bombing Jane, etc. Really good character, has the same situation as Sui. They both have the same niche and the same team compositions. It changes a little bit depending on what you're running, but for the most part, it's pretty similar, right? But they are both really good characters, and it's worth grabbing for raids and for tower, both of them. Then we go into Anchor. Anchor is honestly on its own almost a filler. If it wasn't because, first of all, she does pair with Mast, so already you are getting a character you can use for raids with the mates together. And then second, because she's needed specifically for, if I remember correctly, the boss Black Snake, I think is the snake, right? The one where you need to be running Anchor. If it's not a snake, it's also Sis. You either need to run her or someone else who can keep you alive. So for specific bosses, Anchor is still a great character. She is really cute. I like her. She is core 2, somehow she has more combat power than my Mast. This girl keeps appearing on my pools, but Mast refuses to come home. So I would grab a copy for sure if you already have Mast, if you are working towards specific bosses like Black Snake and Sis, and you need the storage mechanic and things like that. Really good character. Now, I think some people might disagree with this placement, but I'm going to put in Aid as one of the best picks here. It depends on your account a lot, because for a new player, depends on what B2s they have. But a new player that doesn't have any of the other B2s that are meta can benefit so much from banning Aid. It's a really strong character regardless of peers on your team or not. She does focus on peers buffs, but you can slot her into any team and she will work. It is a strong character, strong buffs, one of the best assets in the game we have. And if you already have a 40-second B2, for example, like your Maid Mast or even like the Flora Treasure, you can pair them with her and you are good to go. This is for people, obviously, without Crown, without Nayuta, without any of the really strong B2s already in the game. She's still a fantastic pick in my opinion. I think she's weaker than both Mast and Moran. Moran and Mast are stronger picks overall, but again, it heavily depends on your account and what you are lacking. And then we go into Rogue and Bestie. Rogue will go into the raids and tower section. For tower is still a fantastic character for Tetra, depending on what you're running. Obviously, most people at the moment are going to be running the best B1 in the game just for every single piece of content, right? Obviously. But if you don't have Anis, it's still a great character to be getting. Still for raids used. Now it's getting even more usage thanks to the HP characters and the HP scalers. We keep getting the new cubes and whatnot. So it's a solid pick. It seems that slowly over time she is getting more team compositions where she can be slot, but it's not mandatory by any means. You can like literally drop her and it's completely fine, right? But I would put her in there at the moment. And then lastly, we have a Bestie tactical upgrade. Bestie, I would almost put her on fillers, but I like her for, first of all, high deficit combat push. So if you are pushing under big combat power deficit gaps, Bestie is fantastic. And then second, because even for raids and towers, she's still a great pick. She's still a strong character that you can run without any problem, okay? So Bestie is a good pick. You guys can run her on a lot of content, including high deficit, for tower, for campaign. A new player can benefit so much from Bestie as well. So it is a nice pick. The only ones that I would currently avoid are Volume, Declare, Wife, and Blank, because these three are a lot more conditional and have a lot less priority. But again, someone, for example, a new player who already have 2 or 3 characters with cooldown reduction and they are missing one more for raids, they might want to be grabbing a declare wipe or a volume just so they can slot one more team for raids. It heavily depends. A lot of them are useful. This is actually a great paid selector for $20 because you're getting 3 multis plus this selector, which has a bunch of nice characters. Personally, I'm gonna just keep these on my inventory forever because I'm kind of retarded and I like having all of these things on my inventory locked. But all of them are actually pretty good. This is a nice selector in my opinion for the price it has. That's it, that's everything for this video. So as usual, boys, love you all. Hope you're having a great day. Vacation so far has been pretty nice. My brother has convinced me to be here for an extra week, so I'll be here for a few more days. When I'm back, we'll be streaming everything, the new campaign chapters, the tower pools, etc. Until then, hope you guys have a great day. Love you all. Good luck with your pool dinner dates, and I'll see you on the next one.